This week, coming up from the ashes.
Bubble wrap is not the same. The bubble wrap, the actual real deal, is better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the original stress reducer. You know, like bubble wrap.
The one that matters.
Causing no murders for years. I don't know. Like I wanted to murder you until I popped my bubble wrap. Thanks, bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Of course, I went through like 15 yards of bubble wrap, but hey, it was worth it.
You got through it in the end. That's all that matters.
Why, hello, everyone. My name is Phoenix, and I am here. Crap, I screwed it up. I think I need to restart, guys.
Yep, like you did last time.
Yes, you know, it's difficult to run a podcast.
Trying to run off the bit idea that I gave you.
100%. So, welcome everybody to From the Ashes podcast. I am Phoenix, and with me today on this take 3, technically, is Grim and also Arson, as you heard. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right? Hold on, Grim, are you really doing all right?
A little staticky, but otherwise fine.
So we had this whole thing planned out to do something that we were going to have to hold on to probably maybe next week or whatever, because Grim will be here next week. He's covering for Ocean this week. But I guess we'll do the Transformers podcast next week. The reason why is because, Grim is searching way too many sensitive internet things and watching too much horrible things. And because of that, he ran out of internet, and it took him like 15,000 minutes to get into Discord this morning.
Well, it's not really internet. He blew through his hotspot.
Well, okay, he blew through his hotspot, so
Yeah, those horrible things I've been watching. I've been watching artists animate all of the trauma that they dump on their OCs.
Oh,
it was just doom scrolling for hours upon hours.
I thought you were gonna say you were watching my VODs on Twitch.
Oh,
that would have been good. That would have been really good to throw that up there, but you missed your chance. You missed your chance. Well, guys,
Don't worry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't worry, I'm not rude like Assassin.
Most
of the time.
I was gonna say, you have your moments.
I have my moments.
You do. So, well, guys, today we're doing a show about nothing. Literally, we're just gonna sit here and BS and talk about the first thing that comes up, and probably run it into the ground and switch topics. But I figured that felt like we needed to go through Grim's internet first, his hotspot, because it's just apparently horrible. So we just didn't want him cutting out. We had a little spot where he did one episode where he cut out. I'm not going to name which one. Let's see if you guys can guess which one. We covered up pretty well. But when he was sitting there saying, well, we could do the same thing as we did in that episode for Transformers. And I'm like, we have nothing to say. We've talked about the Transformers. It'd be all you. This is the Grim episode. But, so anyways. So, Arson, start us off, buddy.
Oh, where to even start? How do you do an episode about nothing?
Sit here for an hour in complete silence.
That is an option.
Wonderful.
And honestly, that's a card we can pull whenever we want, but I don't want to use it right now.
True.
I mean, geez.
Oh, did I also mention we switched this title like within seconds of starting this? So yeah. Anyways, go ahead again.
I guess we should start with just a bit of how's everybody been lately? How are things going?
Graham.
I was doing good, and then I tried to play Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for the Switch, and then I had to update my Switch, and then it cut me out of the hunt I was in, and then I was peeved, and then I went into the hunt that I was in, and I got walloped, and then I was super peeved.
I thought you were gonna say Nintendo bricked it.
You gotta buy the Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm gonna lunge across the internet and strangle Miyamoto myself.
Don't worry, guys. We have an episode about that coming up too. Real soon.
Why not just talk about it right now? It's not like anything we say here has any real meaning.
I mean, that's true. We can talk about it, but we are going to go back and touch on it on another episode for sure, because I've got a lot to say in that episode. Yeah, if you guys don't know, there's this thing that popped up. Like apparently, which to be fair, they have some points to this. Also, though, if I spend $500 on a Switch 2, and I go to modify it in any way and get busted, and then all of a sudden I can't turn my Switch on anymore because it's bricked, I'd be upset. Now, I get it. I've heard people being like, ban online stuff. You can't get online at all. And but you can't brick that. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
We both had something to say.
All right, I'll say Arson, go first.
Look, if you buy something and they just brick it after you paid hard-earned money for it, even if you just stole it from your dad's wallet, that's not like right at all in any world. Like, you paid for the game, you should own the game, but you don't, because they literally just prove it by making you not able to play it anymore. That already feels like robbery for one. And two, well, could you at least be gracious enough to give me a refund?
Or half? No, at least.
Hey, at least give half the money back, like something, anything. No, you're just gonna brick it, and I'm never gonna be able to play it again. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm so grateful to have donated to the mighty, economic titan that is Nintendo. I'm sure they needed those.
Well, they really
$60.
They really need the money. You mean 80, right?
I mean, I paid like $10 for a game. That was like the last Nintendo game that I purchased.
So yeah, it's interesting though, because I turned on my Switch the other day. It was a couple days ago, because DVD finally hit cross progression on the Switch. So I added that account and made sure everything was good. And as I booted up my Switch, lo and behold, a new user agreement popped up. I bet you know what it has to do with that. I'm just saying. But anyways, before we get any further, that Grim, let's hear your outtake.
The fact that, like, I genuinely don't understand where the entitlement of companies comes from. Because the fact that we are purchasing your product to begin with should be enough. That should be enough. But the mere concept of, hey, I paid money for this console, I'm going to modify it in how I want, right? I fully understand being like, all right, look what you're doing. You're going to muck up the internet. Like, you're not going to be able to be online, right? That's perfectly fine. That's understandable. That's something you should expect going into modifying a console.
Right, absolutely.
Saying that, hey, we don't like you modifying our stuff, so we're going to make that $500 piece of plastic. We're going to make that as useful as kitchenware. All right, that's it. You paid $500 for a dinner plate. That
I guess you could eat off of it.
Yeah, it makes me so annoyed because of this, right? I'm sure you've heard that Xbox also has now upped the base price of the Series X. Their
And
new
no one
Xbox.
was buying that before. So
Literally.
like, what do they have to gain? Seriously.
The biggest irony of all of this, right, is that I've been talking to Assassin, right? So I love Halo, right? Halo is like the only first-person shooter I actually like because all the other ones suck. But you know, I play on PlayStation now. Unless you somehow haven't been born yet, you probably know that Halo doesn't exactly belong on PlayStation as
Not
of
yet.
this moment.
I was saying not yet.
But I miss Halo, right? So I got my old Xbox and stuff together. But before that, I was like, you know what? I might as well just get a Series S because then I can play Infinite, and I don't have to get a gold membership because I'm probably not going to play it that much. You know what I mean? But like I'll have it and I'll be able to play all of the Halo games. Okay. Lo and behold, I find this out. I'm just like, I hate you and everything you stand for. And it all goes back to Nintendo. It all goes and it annoys me so much that a company that focuses on fun above all else when it comes to their games, they focus on having fun, are such slime balls. Ugh.
I mean, that's like Hasbro coming into your house and taking your Monopoly game back.
Literally.
Like,
literally.
Dude, we noticed that you just made your own money and you're using that. You modified the game. We're taking it back.
Yeah. It's like people. It's like so figure collecting, right? If you have a figure and you customize it to not be the same, that provider, whether it be Hasbro, Mattel, like McFarlane Toys, they just kick open your door, and then they just take it, snap it in front of you, and then just like steal your piggy bank while they're at it.
They break down your door, take everything.
It's so. I don't understand where the ego comes from because, granted, this will never happen, right? But just the fact that everyone could just stop buying your product. If people weren't stupid and they had the mental foresight to be like, hey, this company is ripping me off. If everyone on the planet just somehow realized that, you wouldn't have a company anymore.
Yeah.
Like consumers are the lifeblood of your company. Why are you actively trying to have less consumers?
Well, because they don't
still buy it anyways.
Exactly. The thing
know.
is the Switch pre-orders sold out in minutes, like record-breaking time. I actually was gonna pre-order the Switch, and these guys were peeved when I said I was gonna do it. Grim gave me a what for? So did Zombie.
I mean, I wasn't I don't know. I don't even remember. I wasn't exactly as mad or upset about it as they were. I was just kind of like, dude, this is a stupid decision.
Yeah. Well, so I was gonna do that, and then the night that they came out, I actually got one to pre-order. It was in I even took a screenshot and sent it to Arson. Like, I was ready to buy it, that I was just like, nope, I'm good. And then I deleted it. So I actually had a Switch 2 ready to pre-order. Everything was done. And then I just was like, nope. Because, I mean, to be fair, I decided earlier that day that I wasn't going to. I just wanted to see if I can get one like that. And I did. But they sold out super fast. It was like record-breaking sales and stuff like that for any pre-order, like for a console, I think they said. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was. But that's just a little snippet of what we're going to get into the next time we actually talk about the Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation. Because Xbox, first, I will say this. I have no idea what they think they're going to gain from this because they've basically said that they're stepping away from consoles, like for the most part.
Like, how I see it is that they know that they've lost, so they're just going to try and get as much money as possible. Which
Dude, they've
makes
lost,
sense. That's fair. But, like, still.
They've lost every console war ever. Like if you go back and look back all the way from the original Xbox to now, they have lost profit like huge.
Well,
I don't think that was the case with the 360.
Yeah, no, the 360 was like the best. And I was a PS3 person. Like, like I was a PS3 guy, but even I can say that Xbox 360 was like basically the pinnacle of Xbox. And I had an Xbox for a while, and I probably still would have had an Xbox if I didn't brick it by trying to spray paint it black because I didn't like the white color.
You spray really?
I got a paint spray and I sprayed it and I didn't even cover the hole, so I just completely mucked up the hole.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
why didn't you just
fair,
take it apart?
I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So like I literally had no idea what I was doing. It was just terrible. But like I mean, to be fair, it's not like I really had any games on it.
Doesn't matter. Like, you weren't gonna have any games after.
the only game I had was like Quake 4 and like Quake 2, but that was because it came with it. I don't think I remember having anything else on it.
You didn't have the absolute mascot icon, Blix the cat?
Nope. I don't even think I had an avatar set up. And to be fair, I like that was that point in my life where I didn't have any internet either. It wasn't until way later where I finally got internet.
Yeah.
And that was when the Xbox was long gone already. And having internet was kind of one of the biggest things about having a 360 because of the party and Halo and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny because my first Xbox I was working, I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was working at a TGI Fridays as a cook. I was their saute cook. And there was a guy there that said he could get me an Xbox. I was like, oh yeah? I was like, it's new, right? It's not like, look, to be fair, I didn't ask any questions about the other stuff, just said it's new, right? He's like, yeah. He got me a really good deal on an Xbox, and I bought it off of him, and that was the Xbox I owned. I've never told anybody this story. I've kept it to myself all these years, because I have no idea where he got it from. For all I know, it could have been taken off of the back of a truck, but I like to believe in people, so I'm gonna say it was legit, and I got it from him like that. So, probably not, but but yeah. So that was my first Xbox, and the only reason I got it is because I wanted Knights of the Old Republic, like that, and the Raw games for WWF at the time, now WWE. So, but it was mainly for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
I was gonna say, yeah. When I was a kid, I had like the very first consoles that I can remember having was an Xbox, because my uncle, he had an Xbox, but then he got a 360, so he just gave me the original, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had that, and then my dad had a PS2, and I played Star Wars Battlefront 2 on that, and then I also had a Sega Genesis. Out of all of them, the PS2 probably was my favorite, but my favorite game was Halo 2, and I have the most vivid memories of playing Halo 2. And I specifically remember having the what was the game I just said? Blix the Cat, right? I remember having it, but I never knew the name of it. And I saw a meme not even a few months ago, and it was talking about how everyone tries to come up with icons, right? And it was an ad from a magazine saying, Mario, Sonic, who's that? watch out for the new iconic mascot. And like I remembered him because he was like I was gonna say Palico. Play too much Monster Hunter. He's a cat that he had like white and orange fur, goggles, and he wore like a little like jumper suit, and he had a vacuum as a gun.
Huh. I don't know where they thought that was gonna make it big.
I don't know, but it was funny.
So was he a calico cat? Was he like that mix?
I think so. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like Xbox has never been my forte. Like I did like, so in the original Xbox, you could load up music to it, and then you could use that music in certain games. So I would transfer my music from CDs and put them in there this is one of the best things I ever had, because in Raw 2 for WWE, they had it to where you can actually load up custom ring entrances with music. And I'd always put in like different things like Metallica or Linkin Park and stuff like that. I put in there for my music, and I always thought it was really cool to do that. And now PlayStation did that too. But apparently WWE took that feature away, which really stinks. Years ago, they took it away. And ever since then, it's taken away appeal for me when it comes to the WWE games, because it made it so much better when you can actually put your own ring entrance in there. Like, I really like that. But stuff like that, but Xbox did it first. Now, when it comes to bringing in, music into the game, I'd say PlayStation actually did it first with Monster Rancher. But that was a whole nother ball of wax, the way they did that, which was brilliant, So, but yeah. When it comes to that kind of stuff, man, like companies are getting so greedy nowadays. And I still think it spawns all the way back to Rockstar with GTA 6. In all honesty.
You mean GTA 5?
GTA 2037?
Man, the amount of people that they made money off of the freaking shark cards alone for online is criminal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All for that new base or world-ending car.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I hope they fail as a company.
Good luck with that.
I despise Rockstar. I know it'll never happen, but I can hate with all my heart.
I do
Not
like Red
before
Dead.
GTA 6, at least. We've all been waiting for that.
Yeah. I do like Red Dead though. I've only played 2.
I've never played it.
But yeah, so I streamed that for a little bit, but then there was a scene where they actually showed some boobies on stream. And I was like, nope, gotta stop that. So I stopped streaming it after that.
Uh-oh.
I didn't get a warning or anything. It was just, like, well, I ended up deleting out the VOD. So, but anyways, yeah, when it comes to that stuff like that, man, I think Rockstar is the one that did it first, because Rockstar is the one that said, I feel like, you should pay for what you play, like they want to take GTA subscription based, it seems like, you know? Like seriously, that's the way it sounds like. Like they were like, you should pay $120 if you enjoy this game for thousands of hours. Like, who are you? Like to dictate that? Your job is to make the games, release them, make a good profit off of it. And I understand that game has taken a lot of money to make, but when they bring it out, they're gonna make their money back tenfold. And it's just they're greedy. And Rockstar's not even hiding it. Like Nintendo's like blaming other things and stuff like that. And so is now Xbox, but they're like trying to use loopholes to be like, haha, we'll raise prices this way. It's just like, okay, so I wanted to save this for the actual podcast. But Zombie said something to me that he was like, you should bring this up. And it was like, I remember a time when Nintendo was all about the gamer, like we're going to make sure we get you a good product cheaper than everybody else. We may not have the pristine graphics as everybody else, but it's going to be good quality product. And they came through on that, right?
Oh yeah, no, like Nintendo's always been about fun over performance. And I feel like this kind of is a little bit on the gaming community in itself, that they've put so much focus on performance, graphics, all that stuff. Cuz like a good game does not need to look good, right?
Right.
A good game, as long as a good game's fun, that's all that matters. But a lot of people have put such a large emphasis on
Graphics.
if a game, yeah, graphics. If a
Yeah.
game looks good, a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, best game ever, right? I guarantee you that if I had played God of War 2018, right, and the combat was even half as fun as it is, I would have dropped it.
Yeah.
I like, yeah, it looks good. I don't care. I like at the end of the day, the gameplay loop is what is important. Cause this kind of goes into the whole, oh, Sony makes movie games, right? But like, you're there to play a game, not watch a movie. Now, like, granted, that's not saying movie-like games are a bad thing, but you can't have the same standard with them as any other game,
Right.
because a game is meant to be played.
Well, and the thing is, let me say this real quick, is the thing is Nintendo, they when they bring this stuff out, it's not like that they make anything like, okay, they have their original games, but they freaking remaster games till they're dead. Like they just, oh, play the remastered version of Super. Look, did you see that they're bringing out Super Mario World, remastering it and redoing it?
Which one?
The one that's
3D
already on the Switch?
The original,
like-
yes.
Oh, the original.
okay.
Okay.
For the
I
Super
think
NES.
World.
No.
Yeah.
Super Mario World, the original, the OG, the one that introduced Yoshi, like into Mario and everything else. Like literally they're remastering that to put on the Switch 2. I guarantee that game cost $80.
Oh, guaranteed.
I would much rather
It's a
play the original than that piece of trash that they're going to bring out.
You have the original.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. You're good.
One thing I will say, and this is another credence to Xbox, right? Backwards compatibility. Nintendo has had one backwards compatible system, to my knowledge, and that was Wii to GameCube, right? PlayStation, the PS3, I think only like the first like what is it? I think the first like 30 batches of the PS3 could go backwards to PlayStation 2.
And
But
one.
then they just
had,
stopped.
They had like they had a model where it had like a separate like disc thing, right? And then you could put like PS2's discs. in
Oh, I
there.
thought it was like baked into the PS3, and then
No.
they stopped doing that.
So I had an original PS3. I paid like $600-700 for this thing because it had something like, I still have I'll take pictures of it and send it to you guys. I still have it, but I sold it years ago and got it back from the friend. I traded because it ended up having that kind of like red ring of death type of deal. And, but the yellow light for PlayStation. But I traded him a working, what is it? A working Wii for it and got my original one back. However, so there's this like little flap on the left side that you can flip up and it actually takes peripheral cards like SD and all that stuff. And then that also you can play PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games on it, all with the discs. So it was amazing. Like I loved it. It literally replaced my PS1, PS2, and at that time I got rid of my original PS1 and PS2 because I didn't need it. But since then I found a PS1, an original one, like an old school one, like not like the smaller versions or whatever. I got it at Goodwill for $20, and then I got a PS2 online a few years after. Actually, my mom got it for me for like a present. So I got all that stuff back, like the original fat PS2, like the one that you could put the hard drive in the back of it. And it takes it took a wireless card. Well, not a wireless card, a internet card. that plugged into the back of it. So, PlayStation 3 was amazing. Like no one can ever say otherwise. Literally, Sony was the first to really do that. To go back all the way and play every game in your library all the way back from PS1 to PS3. And it was amazing.
Okay, yeah, but that was still like an add-on though.
No, it wasn't. There was 2 models that were released when it first came out. That one and then the other one. The problem is the first one was so expensive to make that they had to come out with the second one because that was not backwards capable. But it was apparently the part that went in there. But what were you saying, Arson? It was a shame. What?
That they literally threw it to the side. They don't
Yeah.
do it anymore.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, PS5 plays PS4 games, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
But
pay
yeah,
that extra money for the one that played PS1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 games, you know?
Yeah. But even then, like, Xbox had that baked in. Now, granted, obviously, Xbox wasn't nearly as old as PlayStation, so it had less to, like, take over.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the fact that it still could is something that I really respect. And the fact that it still does, regardless, like, that's still something to at least give to Xbox. Like, that's a good quality to have. Granted, Xbox basically dead now, which sucks, kinda, but,
I mean,
It
their
is what it
properties
is.
are going to live on through other consoles. But
Yeah,
the difference is they have the audacity to raise their prices like how many years into the S? You know?
Yeah.
Like how many years in and you're going to be like, "You know what? Instead of lowering, let's go ahead and up it. Let's just up the prices." Now everybody listen to this. I know you're going to hear a lot of this again when we actually do talk about this like in depth. Like we've talked about it here and there, but there's going to be a lot more added to this. But going back, let's does anybody else anything else to say on this, or we can switch to a different topic?
I think it's well.
I mean, we can swap.
So, I mean, considering this is supposed to be the podcast about nothing, we're kind of making it about something. So, that being said, Grim, this started off by Grim being asked like, "How are you guys doing?" Or like, well, Arson asked that question or something, and then it went into like this whole detail about Monster Hunter, and then I said something, and all of a sudden, boom, it sparked this conversation. But to answer Arson's question about me is, I have had a lot of things going on in my life right now. Some good, a lot bad, but I'm still trucking. I actually start back. So for a lot of you that know, I am an ordained minister, and I'm ordained through the church, not because of finishing school. So I'm basically a probably third quarters junior in my college, and I had to leave my college because I had a really bad injury to my back that disabled me, and so I officially start back to school on Memorial Day, the day that we're airing this. That is the day I start back, and the first school class that I have to take, well, the one I was supposed to take is not offered this semester, so they allowed me. They had to go in and okay it. They allowed me to take a class called, oh my gosh, philosophy and critical thinking. And I'm like, I don't want to critically think. I don't want to.
Philosophy in your life,
Yeah. Like, let me think about that for a while. Do I get an A now? Like,
no.
oh gosh. I'm so worried because, they have 3 books. I've got 2 of them with me. The other one, luckily, I won't need till later this semester. Don't get here until about next week or in about 2 weeks. But I don't know why, but it is. But yeah, it's going to be a challenge for me getting back, and I have had to go through a lot of obstacles to do that. But it's happening. So yeah, I'm going back to school this summer. Just starting off with 1 class. In the fall, I'll be boosting that hopefully, and moving on up to higher ground. so I can have the high ground. I don't know what. I've watched a few things that had like Star Wars in it earlier. So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. I do want to. I do want to say, however, today is somebody special to us in this podcast, their birthday. And I want to call that out because he is out doing things for his birthday and helping out others. And that's Zombie. So Zombie, happy birthday, brother. I hope you have a good one. And this is as of Saturday. Now, tomorrow, we have another birthday. And he is actually president of Canada4 right now.
So happy for you, Grim.
Oh, yeah. Someone turns.
You and I both know that's a lie.
The big 23, 24, 25.
Oh, I feel so old.
Someone is turning 22 years old tomorrow. And that is our own.
That guy.
That is our own Arson.
Is that real?
I mean, unless you've told me a lie all the last couple of years. Look, this coming from the guy that last year on his 21st birthday literally bought me a present for his birthday. Who does that? Like, and then, you know, a year later we do what?
Doesn't show up.
Does it? Yeah. So I did a special stream for him on his birthday, which I probably have talked about this on the podcast before, but I did a special stream for his birthday and he showed up at the very beginning and at the very, very end. And that was it. Like, so, but he was out drinking, having a good time. And, you know, for all those worrying, he was out drinking milk, chocolate milk, by the way. So yeah, but so what are you doing for your birthday this year, Arson?
No idea.
Well, we were supposed to have a D&D session tomorrow, and I still don't know if that's probably up in the air right now. But
I feel like at that point, that's honestly up to both Raven and Zombie.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Raven's made his choice, and unfortunately, you know, life happens, right? So Raven won't be there tomorrow. And
right.
because we're in the middle of a dungeon, we cannot continue. It'd be a hard thing to do. But that being said, Arson literally put his plans and he's doing all his birthday stuff today just because of tomorrow. And now that that's happening, we may be doing something special. But by the time you guys hear this, you won't know because it'll be Monday.
You snooze, you lose.
You missed out, loser.
And
Here, you can have the candles left over from my birthday cake. There's still some stuff on it that you can lick off, I guess.
Ooh, frosting.
You know what? Here's an interesting question. What is everyone's favorite kind of cake?
Pineapple upside down.
What? You said that so fast that I couldn't even register what you said.
Pineapple upside down cake is the greatest.
Pineapple upside down cake.
Yes. Second to that would be either German chocolate cake or just the old fashioned chocolate cake. For me.
Oh,
No, haven't you ever had pineapple upside down cake, Arson?
oh, well, okay. I've had cake with pineapple on it, but I haven't had upside down pineapple cake.
Okay, so pineapple upside down cake for the non-educated people
Hey.
is when you you bake the cake upside down and then you flip it over to reveal the pineapples and cherries on top of it covered with, you know, brown sugar and all that stuff. And so when you flip the cake over, it's upright, but it's an upside down cake because you make it like that. So you put the pineapples and cherries at the bottom with butter and whatever, what I just said, brown sugar. And then you pour the mixture in and then you bake it. Now I like to do a double tier one. So my double tier ones are amazing. But anyways, if you've eaten a pineapple cake, it's probably a pineapple upside down cake. You just, yeah, it's baked upside down. They just turn it over.
Huh. Neat.
I thought it would have been a little more special than that, but
No,
just flipped it upside down.
pretty much. Just
Okay.
just make sure.
Rotated.
Let's just make sure when you before you put all the stuff in there, grease it really good, because if not, everything will stick to the top.
I guess
And then
I'll just eat all my cakes upside down. That completely changes the experience, I guess.
oh, they're so good. Other than that, the only other cake I would say is my favorite would be my mom's fruit cake, which we've talked about before. So, but it is a cake,
Oh,
so
yeah. It's like a very yeah. No, I remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
It was like
so
no,
good.
fruitcake is just terrible unless you literally eat it while it's just made.
Yeah. Oh, so what's
I
yours?
mean, I guess as for me, it'd probably be like tres leches.
Well,
It's
really, caramel.
like it's like soaked in milk. And I guess yeah, you could like put some caramel and stuff like that, but like it's mostly like soaked in like milk, and then like it has like you could add a bunch of different fruits. You could add like cookies or whatever if you want. It's basically just like really moist cake that's been in milk
How
and
moist.
like pretty moist.
It sounds really good though. Like you get
Yeah,
get your
do.
milk, you get your milk and cookies all in one cake.
Yeah.
That's funny. But whenever I think tres leches, I always think of caramel or caramel, whichever way you want to put it. But I really do. Because I mean, what is caramel? It's nothing but like milk, really. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cream, heavy condensed milk or whatever the way you make it. So, of course, there's a few other things in it, but it's the main base is milk. But
I mean,
yeah,
it's like tied with that, and I guess if I had to choose a second favorite, it'd probably be Red Velvet. If it's really good, that is.
I mean,
Sometimes it's
Got-
just
yeah.
it doesn't hit as good unless it's made great. So,
So you want to hear a funny thing? Is I'm not a big fan of red velvet, but I love chocolate cake. And red velvet is basically just chocolate cake with cream cheese icing. I mean, that's pretty much all it is. It's dyed chocolate cake. so,
yep.
But I don't know, that red 40 dye hits hard though, right? So, like,
It certainly really hits you after a second or three.
yeah, or a whole cake. Well, now that we've answered, what about you, Grim?
You guys gave really in-depth about mine's just cinnamon streusel, and if I had to pick a second, I mean, angel food cake's pretty alright.
Wait a minute, cinnamon streusel, that's basically like coffee cake, is what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Say coffee cake.
I mean, that's what it's called, is coffee
Well-
cake.
I mean, I also like my grandma's almond coffee cake, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that's more.
So,
I guess that. Well, I mean, a cake is a pastry. I guess. I don't know, but like doesn't seem like more cake than. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know.
It's
But-
cake. You cut it with a knife. That's it.
I-
Nothing's
Look, I
Uh,
love
yeah.
coffee cake. I think it's good. Cinnamon streusel. I mean, how could that be bad? Just have that cinnamon flavor. I love spice cake.
Mhm.
Pumpkin bread. Or because
mhm.
spice cake and pumpkin bread are pretty much the same thing, except for one has pumpkin. So,
Have you guys ever had two things? So one, I bring this up because I'm Dutch and we just had a huge Dutch like festival thing recently. Have you guys ever had Dutch letters?
touch letters.
Okay, tell me what that is first, and then I'll tell you if I've had it under something else.
It
Called
is
something else.
it's basically just like a pastry noodle, right? Very like thin, crispy outside, and on the inside it's just like it's just like pure almond.
Yeah, I would not like that because I can't stand almond.
Ah, that's right.
Almond.
So, but I mean, I don't know. It's really weird because almond extract kind of smells like cherries. and it's really weird, but I just can't like. I can eat stuff with probably if it has like almond extract in it, I could probably do it. But if it comes to like actual almonds, I do not like the texture of almonds at all. It's just like to me, like completely. But what's the other thing?
Oatmeal bread.
Oatmeal bread. That actually sounds familiar.
Schmote
Oh, wait. You're not just talking like the loaves of bread you get at the store, right? You're talking about like fresh.
No.
Yeah, because they have they have the oatmeal bread like packaged.
Oh yeah. No, it's not that.
Okay. So I love a nice 9 times out of 10, if you put a piece of fresh bread in front of me, I don't care what it's made of, I'll eat it.
Yep.
Because it's so good. Like most of the time, you know, like that's like zucchini bread. Have you ever had that?
I've heard of it, but I haven't had it.
It is so flipping good. Of course, you don't taste the zucchinis because, like I said, it's also one of those like almost like a spice bread. So, but oh man, some good choices. I wanna step back for a second and talk about your second choice was angel food cake. I love angel food cake. It's like one of the only white cakes that I like, except for with pineapple upside down. But with pineapple upside down, if I make it homemade, that's fine. But if I use box cake, I get the pineapple cake and I use actual pineapple juice when making it. So, but with yours, I got this thing where when I was married, my former mother-in-law used to make pineapple upside angel food cake, and they would make this, or she would make this strawberry drizzle type of deal. And it was basically made from strawberries. She'd cook it down with sugar and make it into almost like a syrup to drizzle on top of it. Oh my Lana. It was almost like a strawberry shortcake, but not. Oh, it was so good. But
Careful, Phoenix, you're drooling.
I really am. But but yeah, so that's really good stuff right there. There's some good answers. I don't know. How are you gonna follow that one up with a different question?
What's your least favorite cake?
Oh, well, I think I already said mine.
The one you absolutely despise.
Grim?
Okay, I don't despise it, but I don't like chocolate, so literally anything chocolate. Yeah, I just don't like chocolate.
He's a dog.
That's funny.
I tell you to heal, will you sit?
I'll bite you.
Have you ever tried butter cake?
What? Is
Nope.
it literally just normal?
It's just a stick of butter.
No. So butter cake has got more essence of the butter in it, and it's like really, oh my gosh, it's really good too. They have, I had this, I didn't really have it until I came out here to Colorado. They sell it like, like the little Debbie's. They sell them in little packs like that. One's like a lemon butter cake. And oh my gosh, I tried it just because I like lemon cake, lemon poppy seed bread or whatever you want to say. I really like it. And,
poppy seed.
And so I tried this and it's very moist and it's just got like, I don't know, it's got like a little crunch to it. Not as much. It's so good. But I'm sitting here thinking of like the one I don't like the most, and one I don't like more than red velvet is just plain old vanilla cake, white cake. I can't stand white cake. That's the one thing I just it's if you just serve me a piece of white cake with chocolate frosting or vanilla frosting on it, vanilla frosting I'll just throw it back in your face first of all. Chocolate frosting, I may eat around the edges and just leave the rest of the cake there. Like, get every piece of frosting off there, and then that's it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of white cake, never have been. But I think that's first, and then second would be, which again, red velvet cake is just chocolate cake dyed red with cream cheese frosting on it. But I'd have to put that up there right next to it.
Would the white cake classify as like a sugar cakes? Because I hate that.
So it's anything like the yellow cakes, and that but that's what I consider white cake, is like the yellow cake. And so angel food cake is the truly white cake because it is fluffy and white, but it's got such a good flavor texture to it. Like you could like pick it up and rip into it like you're biting into a sponge almost. And it's so good. But I think that could classify possibly as just a regular sugar cake. I
Yeah,
think.
no, I just hate sugar cakes. They're just too sweet. Like it's way too sweet. It's not like I could probably only ever have like 2 bites before
Yeah.
I'm just like, ugh, nah,
Mhm.
this is wrong. This doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
That's way too much sugar, dude.
You bite into the cake and you just feel the grains of sugar in there, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you could taste it, like, dude, I am going to die if I take another bite of this.
Diabetes.
I also like cheesecakes too, by the way. But cheesecakes are really good.
Well, of course they're delicious. They're cheesecakes.
Well, Chad doesn't
Also
like
depends-
cheesecake. He doesn't like cream cheese though.
I guess it also depends on like the cheesecake because there are many form of cheesecake.
Well, I know this will surprise you, but a friend of mine and myself, we created a cheesecake recipe probably in 2018, and we did a maple bacon cheesecake. And
What sorcery?
it's so good. So what we did is we took for the crust, we used because for crust and a cheesecake, you usually use like graham crackers and, butter. For this, I used little pieces of bacon cooked up with animal crackers and bacon grease to bind it all. Or bacon fat, if that sounds more appealing to you guys. Whatever.
What are you on about?
But then you layer that down, and I also put pecans in with it too. So you layer that down, and then you put your batter in, which I can't talk about because it's secret, because only 2 people know that recipe, and I'm one of them. But it was so good. Oh, so good. The only mistake I did is I put bacon inside the cheesecake mix the first time I did it. And then when you got it out and cooled it completely and then took a bite of it, you're sitting there chewing on bacon fat, and they're like, oh my gosh, like it's like gristle in the middle of cheesecake. And it was like, no, that's not appealing at all. So we kind of changed the way we did it.
Was it sweet or was it more bacony?
It was a little bit of both, because I used for a sauce, I used maple candies and maple syrup to drizzle on top of the cheesecake. And so it had that cheesecake flavor because we didn't mess with that. Topped with some bacon, and of course it had the bacon in the middle, but that, like I said, that's been taken out. And then you drizzle it with that maple syrup or maple drizzle, and it has such a good mixture of flavor. It's a sweet and savory type of thing. Well, sweet and salty kind of thing, it's like chocolate covered pretzels for some people, but bacon and maple are really good. It was during that maple bacon craze. They had like maple bacon cookies, and they even had maple bacon Pop-Tarts, which were really good, by the way. But everybody knows my fascination with bacon, so I bacon wrap bacon. So, but
Have you ever heard of this phenomenon, Grim?
Vaguely.
I mean, Krispy Kreme had maple bacon donuts.
Okay, I think I remember that, but
so I mean, it's just that right there. If you looked up maple bacon Pop-Tarts, it will pop up. I guarantee it.
Bacon this, bacon that.
Then they had bacon Pringles that were only sold at like Walmart or Kroger, one of the two. I can't remember which one.
Bacon Pringles.
Yeah, it basically tasted like you're eating a Pringle dusted with like the imitation bacon bits. It's pretty much how that tasted, which wasn't bad. But yeah, that was a thing. But overall, I mean, Yeah. So when talking about cakes, you know, I got to add cheesecake in there. There's one time I made a turtle cheesecake. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the chocolate turtles, like where it's
Right.
caramel, pecan, and chocolate. And so
Yeah.
I made a I made a turtle cheesecake to where I basically made the cheesecake and put put a chocolate cover on top of it, and then I made homemade pralines and topped it with the pralines. And it was I took it to a school function and there was none left. They devoured that. They're like, that is so good. You need to make some more of that. So, but yeah, there you go. There's my favorites and my least favorites, and so yeah. So Grim, you don't like chocolate cake, huh?
Nope. I don't like chocolate anything.
Really? You really must be a dog.
I guess. I do not like chocolate. Like I'll tolerate chocolate if it's in some stuff like I can't think of any like okay, Twix, right? I really like the cookie in the Twix,
Me too.
but I don't like chocolate. But I'll get Twix because I just really like the cookie. I wish they would just sell the cookies on their own.
Exactly. I was about to say that. I wish they would.
Yeah.
So there's two things I wish that they would sell, like to break apart from that. I wish that they would sell just the Oreo cookie, not the cream, but just the cookie, and Twix. I would love to have the Twix cookies. Which I mean, you can find something similar out there, but it's just something about the Twix. Maybe it's because of the caramel that sits on top of it or whatever, but it's so freaking good. So I feel you on that. But I feel you on that one, Grim, like 100%. I feel like we've done something like this before, though, Arson.
Maybe.
Must have been back in December.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, like one of those short thingies. I don't know. Anyways, but that drives me. That's crazy that you don't like chocolate. Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because Cincinnati chili, they use cocoa in their mix for their chili, and they also put cinnamon in it too. So
In
it's
chili?
yeah. Oh, it's good too.
Coco.
That's something. I'll say that much.
Well, you know, I mean, Cincinnati's known for their chili. Not everybody likes it though. But you know, I love it.
Not everybody likes it, so when you say that, I think so nobody likes it.
No, please. If nobody liked it, so there's two chains in Cincinnati that sell it mostly, and that's Skyline Chili and Gold Star Chili. And anybody else that sells it, it's just referred to as Cincinnati Chili. But Skyline Chili is thinner than Gold Star. Gold Star's meatier. They just use more meat. And I like them both, but Gold Star is my favorite. But yeah, they actually use a little bit, like I said, it's in their seasoning mix, so they put cocoa and cinnamon in it. I never heard of such a thing until I heard of Cincinnati chili, which Cincinnati chili's been around since before I was born, but still, you know, so it's been around a minute.
Battle between two chili companies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they both have their, you know, cult following or whatever you want to call it. They have their following to it. But if you've never tried it, I would 100%, if you ever have a chance to try Cincinnati chili once in your life, try it and judge it before you actually, because first of all, you'll never ever taste the cocoa in it ever, because it's got a spiciness to it. You know, so you won't know that there's, like, when I found out there was chocolate and cinnamon in it, I was like, shut up, you're lying. Like, no, there really is. But every time I go home, like even when I lived in Atlanta, I'd go home and I'd get, like, that's one of the things I stopped to get is either Skyline or Gold Star. And now they have like packets of the chili powder that you can buy. So I bought like 10 packs of that the last time I went home. And so I make Cincinnati chili here and freeze it and then pull it out whenever I want to eat it. So yeah, it's a little taste of home. That and White Castles. White Castles is the thing I have to go and get, and now the only ones I can get out here are in the frozen aisle at Walmart.
Mm.
But yeah,
What a shame.
it is. It is. That's an interesting question that I want to pose, and this will be the last question around for the questioning. Where's a place like, so? For instance, where Arson lives, is there a place around your hometown or around that state that is food that's like synonymous with your state, but also like chains of restaurants, like my Cincinnati chili, or we've got a breakfast food out by our area. It's called Geta. It's spelled Goetta, and it's breakfast meat, and it's made with meat and oats, and it's fried up like a piece of bacon, like, you know, or a sausage patty, more like it, just real crisp on both sides, thin, and it's really good. That was going to be on our menu out here for the restaurant if that would have ever happened, but it didn't. But is there something like that where you are, or because Arson, you've lived where you've lived pretty much your whole life, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not like you would go away and miss it and then have to come back and get it. But is there something like that on your end?
I mean, the only thing I can really think of is like Canes, but like that's
Oh, you mean like Racing Canes?
yeah.
Yeah, but those are all over. Like you could reach those anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah, I know. Uh, the well, I'm just gonna completely spoof it. The only place that me and Twinkie really care about, and we discussed this with Grim, so he already knows this, and he could probably, contribute to this final topic as well. Is a donut place called Branbury.
Oh, now there you go. See, I've never heard of that.
No, this is like a small, very small local business. Where like it's just a donut place. It's like you just get donuts and like
Just a little bakery.
they're open from 5 in the morning till like 5 in the afternoon or evening.
Yeah.
And it's just like they sell all sorts of donuts. Apple fritters. The usual stuff like that. Donut holes. And they're just great. I don't know why. They're just really good. It's really the only donut place like that we know of that we really like and rely on. Uh, Although like we barely ever get donuts from it. Like it's not like we go there like every week or every 2 weeks and like grab a whole box full. It's like every once in a blue moon we just go and get some. But when we do go and get them, like they're great. And like we always like as of recent, we just kind of memed about it a bit, where it's just like, oh, I really want to go get some donuts, but it's already way past closing time.
Mhm.
Like, oh, the Branbury, we're gonna start a Branbury chain, and it's gonna go worldwide. And then Grim's sitting over there with his what was it called again? It was Spud something, right?
It was Spud Nuts. That's what it was.
Spud nuts. That's what it
I'm
was.
sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Spud Nuts. Okay, so it's
Donuts
also
made from potatoes.
I
yep,
kind of
donuts made from potatoes.
really. Oh, so it's like potato bread, but
Yeah, basically.
yeah.
So there's only 3 Spud Nuts in the U.S. There's one like 2 hours where I live. My family's actually in that town right now. They're taking like a family vacation. I just didn't feel like going this year. But yeah, no. So there's the Spud Nuts there. There's one in I think it's Wisconsin, and then there is another one
Please say Colorado. Please say Colorado. No.
somewhere in California,
Dang it.
I think. But yeah, no, there's only like 3 locations, and their whole shtick is just potatoes, but they're donuts, right? They're donuts made from potatoes, and it's really funny because everyone knows how good they are. And I remember one time I woke up with my grandma at 4 in the morning to go wait in line. You want to know how long the line was at 4 in the morning?
How long?
It was 2 blocks.
Jeez. Are they waiting in
Yeah.
line for donuts or a freaking concert?
I know, right? But they're so good. I'll say this. I've had Krispy Kreme, like, I know it's not fresh. It's like, the box Krispy Kreme. Spud Nuts blows that out of the water. Like, there's no donut place that I've ever had that is better than Spud Nuts.
I'm pretty
And
sure nearly every local place blows Krispy Kreme out of the water.
All right.
uh,
So I would agree with that for the most part. But have you ever been to a Krispy Kreme where they make them fresh in front of you?
I mean, that's a different story. I mean, like,
I was
yeah,
gonna
like
say,
if,
see,
if
yeah,
anything,
no, I haven't.
if anything is made fresh, of course it's going to be good. But like, given that Krispy Kreme mostly just kind of has the boxes ready for with glazed and all that stuff, it's kind of tricky. Unless I literally go in the store and tell them, yo, I want a fresh batch of Krispy Kreme donuts. They'll probably look at me like I'm stupid.
Well, no, because you'll
Or
know
they'll
the
be
difference.
like, all right.
Because
They'll be
there's
like, all right, that checks out to $1,000.
yeah, well, there's a difference because when I lived in Atlanta, that was like a regular thing. Like they had their like the regular Krispy Kreme donut places where it's like a Dunkin' Donuts, you just have them all up there. And then you'd find the ones that had the conveyor in the background, well, not the conveyor, but a line in the background that would go through the deep fryer. You would literally watch the process as these guys do this. And like you could watch your donut coming off the conveyor belt. Like, it's crazy. And when you get that donut and you bite into it for the first time, it's the greatest thing ever. Like, I used to always say Dunkin' Donuts was my favorite place to go as like a big chain type of donut place until I had one of those Krispy Kreme donuts. And then you get like a dozen, of whatever donuts you want. The ones that you can order fresh are usually just the just straight up glazed donuts. And holy cow, like when you get those and you order a couple extra other than the dozen just to eat, like going out the door, because the first one's not going to make it out the door. Like it's so good, and like, oh, they're so good. But I see what you're meaning though. But Spud Nut I've never heard of until just now. And the funny thing, I swear, if they didn't use this as a jingle, I don't know why they wouldn't. But like, the cream filled donuts.
Mm-hmm.
Saying something about let us all over you. I don't know. That I don't know why I thought that, but I did because Spud Nut, like seriously.
Yeah. Another really funny, like, just random quirk is that their entire it might have changed. I think it changed within the last year, but their entire bakery used to be in an old car garage. And you would watch them make it like fresh in front. And I think they went to a normal store now, which sucks, but I kind of get it.
Could
Right.
almost taste the oil.
I mean, you could get your tires rotated and get you a box of donuts. I mean, shoot.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I
They
love
used
Spud
motor
Nuts.
oil to actually cook them. No.
I was gonna say, if they did and they turned out that good, more people need to use motor oil.
Oh my gosh. Well, what about a restaurant out there, Grim? Like a place that, like, have you lived in your location pretty much all your life, or have you
Pretty
moved?
much.
All right, so
I have moved, but like I was born here, moved, and then moved back. So
okay, so like with like White Castles. White Castles, everybody knows what it is for the most part, but it's not like you can't get it, right? Neither can Arson.
No.
I can't get it out here anymore. So it's regional.
Like,
it's to a certain.
there is the one that's nearby. Like I said, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
there's one nearby. I just haven't gone to it.
So, there's restaurants like that, like Skyline and Gold Star are completely regional. Now they have moved. Apparently, there are a couple in Florida, but like Skyline Chili's, I think they are just not the Gold Star. Gold Star is strictly Cincinnati in that area, Cincinnati, Indiana, Kentucky, like that tri-state area. But do you have any chains of restaurant like that in around you like the spud nut, but
Yeah,
you know,
have you guys ever heard of Who Hut?
who what?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
It is a Mongolian place where you get your food like from a buffet, but it's all frozen, right? And then you bring it up to a hibachi chef, and he prepares it in front of you, and
Hold
then
on.
obviously you eat it.
It's frozen, or is it just the cold? You mean?
I think some of it's frozen. Like probably like a lot of the meat is probably like just straight
Oh,
up
they
frozen.
yank out a frozen slab of meat.
Here you go.
Yeah, but
Have fun thawing this before you eat it. We'll get it to you in the next 3 hours. No, huh? I mean,
But,
I've been to
yeah.
hibachi grills, but like that, but not a who'sy whatsy
yeah, Who Hut.
who hut. There we go.
Yeah.
Who hut?
All the who's in
There's
Whoville
places
go
that-
to who hut.
Exactly. There's places that I wish were over like by me. There is a there. So I went to a wedding in North Carolina when
Mhm.
I was like 13 or whatever, right? And I vividly remember there was a place called Bojangles, right?
Oh my gosh! Go ahead.
And I had something, I think it was called like the Bowberry biscuit or something. And it's literally just a blueberry biscuit, but they have like some sort of special like glaze or
Uh-huh.
frosting, whatever. Oh, it was so good. And they specialize in biscuits, chicken, and then like
breakfast
dessert stuff.
Yeah, they do breakfast.
and
So Bojangles, I don't know if I've ever said this I think I've said this in a podcast, but Bojangles is my all-time favorite fast food restaurant to go to when it comes to like chicken and biscuits. Their chicken, they got like a Cajun style. And so the first time I ever had them was I lived in Atlanta, which is close to North Carolina. So checks out. But you can't find them outside of a certain radius. And Bojangles biscuits are the best biscuits I've ever had coming out of a fast food restaurant.
It's been 10 years since I've been there, and I agree.
The blueberry biscuits are so good. They use like a cream cheese glaze or something that they put on it, and or whatever it is. I don't know exactly, but it's so good. And they were one of the first people I seen to serve breakfast 24 hours. Well, like throughout their open, like from morning to night. And so they'd have a breakfast menu on there too. I'd say that's mainly because of the, like, I know this was Grim talking about it, but I have a lot of experience with Bojangles. Because
yeah, well, I know. But you want to know why? Because you talked about it before.
I know. But it used to go that KFC was my favorite. And there's a place called Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken that I really liked, but KFC to me was better. Then I kind of switched to Popeyes, because Popeyes was really good. Like I love the little spiciness to their chicken, and their biscuits were better than KFC's. And then I have Bojangles, and everything else changed. They also have really good jambalaya there, or gumbo, also. So just so you know, well, at Popeyes they do too. But yeah. So, anyways, I'll pass that back to Grim. Sorry, Grim, I didn't mean to do that, but like I literally love that restaurant, and Bojangles is like one of my favorite when it comes to chicken. And it's sad that I don't get it anymore.
Yeah, so sad for his lost love.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying.
I'd rather have that than. Well, never mind.
I used to be a fry cook at this one restaurant called the Route 10, and I mean it's just really good. I literally went there yesterday for my job, and yeah, we had to replace a water softener in someone's house, and yeah, no, we stopped there. And like I work there, I know all the stuff that they have, but it's still just really, really solid. It's just really good.
What was it called?
It was called the Route 10.
The Route 10. Well, that's pretty good.
Trying to remember if you've been there on one of your many adventures.
No, never. It sounds like a truck stop. Come on down to the Route 10.
It has a 1950s aesthetic.
Oh, I would love that.
Oh, that also reminds me. There is a Tex-Mex place down a little south from that, Route 10. I forget what it's called, but it has a 1950s aesthetic, but with a Mexican like twist.
Hmm. Really?
And I don't know why, but their chicken Alfredo is one of the best things on the menu. It's super goofy. They're a Mexican place, but their chicken Alfredo is one of their best like dishes.
That's
Yeah.
sounds pretty good. I love chicken Alfredo.
Oh yeah.
So, well,
19. I thought that was what you were gonna say.
1950s.
19
Oh.
and
Oh man. Well,
I've been so fidgety this whole episode. I don't know why. I just can't keep still.
do you have your fidget spinner?
Nope.
Do you have your bubble poppers?
Nope.
Well, then you're just screwed. I don't know.
I lost my chicken. I don't know where it is.
Hold on.
Oh, no.
Mini rant.
Floorboards.
Mini rant. A second. Ever since those stupid things got like introduced, I've never seen the appeal of fidget spinners. I always thought they were stupid.
So
Yeah, I'm like 7 years too late, but like, yeah, I've had to get this off my chest. They don't help with anything. I'd rather have a Rubik's cube.
They just spin, man.
okay.
For that is all they can do.
So I will say something about this. Working as a teacher, like I have for the last 7 years. Before that, I'd have been like, they're worthless. You know, I actually got a Batman fidget spinner at a flea market years ago. I still have it. I actually saw it the other day, but it's basically looks like a Batarang. That's the only reason I got it, and it scared the crap out of Mason. Like, but now it doesn't scare him. I tried it earlier, and he's just like, "What?" I've grown out of that. But anyways, so that being said, there's a lot of kids with IEPs, which basically that's like special needs, and fidget spinners help them out a lot. Like even just as simple as something that is like the bubble popper thing, you know, it helps them keep, I don't know, somewhat focused, I guess, or I don't know. Sometimes it'll calm a kid down that's like throwing a huge fit. And now, mind you, if someone that doesn't have an IEP, that's, you know, that's unacceptable. But the ones that have really bad ones and what like that, it really helps to have, because if you lose control of the room because of one kid, it's kind of rough. And you can't just send them to the office because they may be behaviorally, you know, okay, but if they have a moment, you know, they usually have somebody with them all the time, so they just take them out of the room. But I do understand what you mean, and before 7 years ago or whatever time, how long I've been doing this,
Popular,
yeah, I would have been like, yeah, I agree with you. But now, to a certain extent, you know, it just kind of keeps one from going off the handle sometimes. It helps calm you down. Like apparently it works with anxiety. I don't know, because I don't have much issue with anxiety for the most part. But it's like one of those things that helps. Like I said, I would have been like, it's BS before, but now not so much. They're actually a pretty good tool to have in the classroom. So, you know, just in case. Now, do they always work? No, they do not always work. But do they work enough? Yes, I do think so. So, you know, that take that for what it's worth, Grim. If that helps you in any way whatsoever, then good. He's like, I just wanted to rant. That's it. You ruined it.
I was gonna say, I just wanted to like get that off my chest, because like they never helped me. If anything, I always was so annoyed whenever I would hear them go off in class.
Yeah.
And like they just irked me all the time.
Well,
but, yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal.
And I think the bubble poppers are a little bit better because it's like, you know, have you ever seen those? Like it's Like you could push a bubble through. It looks like a piece of bubble wrap halfway, and then you could push a bubble through, and then when you get all the bubbles pushed in, you can flip it over and push them back the other way. So that's a lot quieter than a fidget spinner. So, you know, and they've got these cubes too that are like really big gelatinous things. Like they're really tough. It's almost like squeezing like a stress ball. And I think they did that purposely, but it's a cube and they're really neat. So I kind of like those. they've been giving them out at school all year.
The bubble wrap is not the bubble wrap. The actual real deal is better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the original stress reducer. You know, like bubble wrap.
The one that matters.
Causing no murders for years. I don't know. Like I wanted to murder you until I popped my bubble wrap. Thanks, bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Of course, I went through like 15 yards of bubble wrap, but hey, it was worth it.
You got through it in the end. That's all that matters.
But yeah, well, I mean, with that, guys, I feel like we've completed our obligation. We've got.
Thank you for coming by. We'll catch you in 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's time to
mess up another podcast and come up with something on the fly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, we all appreciate you guys being here, listening to this, watching it if you're on YouTube. If you want to know more about us, go click the broken link in the description. Some of them, some of them work. I promise.
Sure, buddy.
I keep saying, I think it's more of a running gag now that I just don't fix it. So, but yeah, click the link, go to the place, do the thing, and we'll catch you next week when we have no idea what we're going to be doing. Actually, I do know.
Exactly. Catch you tomorrow for tomorrow's session.
That's right. All right, guys. Have a great week, and don't forget to kiss your waiter.